Harvest.
Thanks for joining us. In Gabon, over 850,000 voters head to the polls today to participate in the country's second constitutional referendum held across 2,800 voting centers. The proposed new constitution consists of 12 chapters and 24 articles, establishing a presidential system without a prime minister, limiting the presidential term to one of 7 years, renewable once, and requiring candidates to be born to two Gabonese parents. In Libya, municipal elections are being held today in 58 municipalities. On this occasion, Prime Minister of the Government of National Unity, Abdelhamid Biba, urged Libyans to participate actively, assuring the readiness of security forces to ensure the elections proceed smoothly. He described the elections as a significant step towards democracy. In Senegal, more than 7 million voters are expected tomorrow to elect 165 members of the National Assembly from among 41 political parties or coalitions. Still in Senegal, the late Sheikh of the Tijaniya order, Sheikh Mahmoud Tijani, was laid to rest on Friday after passing away at the age of 74 on Wednesday at his home in Dakar, Senegal, following a cardiac arrest. Senegal's Minister of State conveyed the condolences of President Bassirou Diomaye Faye, the government, and the Senegalese people to Algeria and the Tijaniya fraternity, praising Sheikh Abdel Muttalib Tijani as an example of tolerance and kindness. On the Western Sahara issue, the coordination of associations in solidarity with the Sahrawi people called on all solidarity organizations to protest today in Madrid, expressing support for the Sahrawi people's right to self-determination and condemning the Madrid Accords, which have resulted in over 4 decades of suffering and displacement for the Sahrawi people. In Algeria, the Network for Algerian-African Dialogue organizes a meeting with young African leaders to discuss challenges and innovative solutions for preventing and combating terrorism. The event is held in partnership with the African Union's Center for Counter-Terrorism and coordinated with the National Observatory of Civil Society at the headquarters of National Housing Bank. Our special envoy Mohamedou Dia is in sport. Mohamedou, welcome.
Good afternoon, Samar, and good afternoon to Ifrikya's FM listeners.
Good afternoon, Mohamedou Dia. Tell us about the atmosphere there as you're in sport. What are the main challenges identified by African youth leaders in the fight against terrorism?
Well, Samar, the main challenges discussed so far in this very meeting of African Union Counterterrorism Center shed light into different perspectives, mostly the lack of implication of this very youth throughout different perspectives and poverty leading to this phenomenon.
Yes, and could you share maybe some innovative solutions or strategies discussed during the meeting to effectively combat terrorism in Africa?
Also, numerous initiatives was discussed in the fruitful debate of experts on ambassadors and African young leaders as well, such as strengthening the cooperation between international organizations, also raising awareness of that phenomenon, young African leaders promoting good education as well, and last but not the least, ensuring, as we said in the very beginning, a collaborative and sustainable politic all across Africa. And I yield back the floor to you, Samar.
Thank you, Mamadou, for these clarifications. Ranit Qassi is also on spot. She will join us at 4 p.m. GMT +1. And in Rwanda, the Minister of Health confirmed the end of the Marburg virus outbreak with no new infections reported for 2 weeks and no deaths in the past month. In Tunisia, Minister of Economy and Planning Samir Abdel Khalid and the National Institute of Statistics forecast a 1.8% economic growth this year compared to less than 1% the previous year. The Central African Republic will once again be able to export diamonds after the complete lifting on Friday of the embargo which has hit the country since 2013, announced the authorities in Bangui. In South Africa, around 800 or 8,000 lions are kept in captivity, and the government has been working for years to put an end to the breeding of these big cats and their exploitation for commercial purposes, says the Ministry of Forests, Fisheries and the Environment. On the Palestinian issue, the Third Committee of the United Nations General Assembly adopted a resolution affirming the Palestinian people's right to self-determination, independence and freedom, denouncing the Israeli occupation as a fundamental violation of inalienable rights. And in sports, during the Africa Cup of Nations 2025 qualifiers, 10 matches took place yesterday. South Africa defeated Uganda 2-0, while Mauritania and Botswana drew 1-1. Ivory Coast lost to Zambia 1-0. Today's matches will feature Ethiopia versus Tanzania and Guinea facing the Democratic Republic of Congo. This is All Africa FM or Ifrikya FM listeners. I'll join you in less than an hour to give you the latest updates in French language.